NYYST. This is New York. Yankee sports talk. Swinging for the fences, knock it out the park. This is New York. Yankee sports talk. Christian and Chris, of course, SGR. This is New York. Yankee sports talk, homie, New York. Yankee sports talk. Record, rain or shine. Grab your shades and umbrellas. NYYST. You're hanging with the fellas.
Welcome back. This is episode 316 of the NYYST podcast. We're live on NYYNewsTV. I'm your host, Christian. As always, joined by my co-host, Chris.
You.
And SGR.
What up?
SGR?
How you doing?
You know what?
How you feeling?
No. Well, you know what, bro?
Bad
I would
blood?
normally I would say, you know what, go out there and take care of business on Sunday, but fuck Philly, bro.
Come on. What if the Cowboys won, though?
I would be rooting for a meteor to hit Lincoln Financial Stadium.
Well,
All right, we got to take Jack to an Eagles game next year.
yeah,
No, you
definitely.
Yeah, my son's an Eagles fan now.
Oh boy.
Didn't Boone? What did Boone say? What was his quote on the game? I'm trying to find it.
We'll get to Boone in a second
Okay,
here,
okay.
but unfortunately for me and Giant fans, the Magic run ended in very quickly on Saturday night. The Eagles just destroyed the Giants, and you know what? I'll take a minute here just to put a finishing touch on the Giants season here. And if anybody doesn't want to listen to it, I don't really care. This is our show, and I'm running it right now, so I'm gonna speak on it. Okay.
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 Listen, I know that there's people out there that automatic, this is the instant reaction world. This is the microwave world, instant coffee world that we live in. Everybody was like, oh, you got to bring back Daniel Jones and Brian Dable, coach of the year. And then all of a sudden they have this disaster in Philly on Saturday night. And now they're like, oh, I don't know. No, it does. Listen, let me tell you something straight up here.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night does not take away from anything that the New York Giants accomplished in 2022. Okay. It should not make you feel any differently about Daniel Jones as the future a quarterback of this team. This team was projected to be one of the worst. Somebody was like, their over-under was, I don't give a shit what their over-under was. Anybody that follows this team knows how bad that they were supposed to be, how bad they were last year. Okay. Mm-hmm. If this team would have won 5 games this year, I would have probably been okay with it. That's how little I thought of them coming into the season. The fact that they won 9 games in a friggin' playoff game, nobody should ever, you don't take that away from them just because they got smacked around by a team that's clearly better than them. We all know the gap. There's a huge gap in between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. And you know what, dude? It's fine. The Giants are in year 1 of this thing, okay? And they got to the divisional round in year 1, okay, with a very limited talent pool, for lack of a better term. Okay. You should look at this wide receiving core that they have. The guys on this offensive line outside of Andrew Thomas, they got a couple of guys on a defensive line, but there's a big lack of talent on this team, and they still managed to win 9 games and a playoff game. Nothing that happened on Saturday night takes away from how much fun this season was and how you should feel about Dable and Shane. And if you changed your mind about Andrew Jones, Daniel Jones, he's still the quarterback in my eyes. These guys that Mara hired are still, in my eyes, the right guys. Did Brian Dable have a good game on Saturday night? No, he didn't. But you know what? It's going to happen. Do you want to get out-coached against a division rival in a divisional playoff game? No, you don't. But it's also growing pains for him being a first-year head coach. So, people that are out there like, oh, I wouldn't even want to make the playoffs if that's how it would. You're stupid, number one, okay? Yeah, you always want to make the playoffs. Like, we argued with Yankee fans about this in 2021 when they were like, I'd rather miss the playoffs than be a wild card. No, you wouldn't. Shut up.
Nah.
Because the alternative is that you don't have a chance to win, whereas you do have a chance to win. And yeah, as Giant fans, a lot of us we got ourselves lost in this dream. Okay, well, it turned out to be a nightmare on Saturday night. But again, I wouldn't trade that for anything because this was a really fun year. I was at the Colt game when they clinched the postseason. Okay, that was one of my most fun memories of being a Giant fan, especially in the last 10 years, and being, watching that playoff game when they beat Minnesota. Okay, that was a lot of fun, man. Yeah. You don't get to take those moments for granted, especially when your team hasn't been anywhere near a semblance of an NFL team for the last 10 years. Okay. So like I said last week, the Minnesota game was the one that I wanted. I was okay with whatever happened on Saturday. And not that I wanted to lose to the Eagles again, but It's over. Where do we go from here? Okay. So now we really see what this regime is made of. There's a lot of hard decisions to make. Jones, Saquon Barkley, Dexter Lawrence. There's a whole bunch of guys that are going to need contracts. They obviously need offensive help. Daniel Jones needs weapons. They need help. They need linebackers. You saw that. It was so evident on Saturday night that they had nobody in that middle portion of the field there to control anything that the Eagles were doing. But you know what? It was still a very successful year. Okay. And I don't, okay. Mike Frances is tweeting like, does that ruin what the Giants accomplished in 2022? In a word, yes. No, it doesn't. Okay. And if you feel that way, I don't know what to tell you other than you just have the wrong type of expectations in life. Okay. Because for a team to get to where they got with this talent level in year one, they could have lost 80-0, and I would still be telling you the same exact thing, that Saturday night takes away nothing from what the Giants accomplished this year. And I haven't been this excited for the New York Giants an upcoming season since Eli Manning was under center, like in his heyday. Okay, so I'm back. Like I'm back being fully invested in this team.
It sounds like that's the definition. Real quick, super chat from Fred Flintstone's bodyguard. Thanks for the super chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that was dope.
He said, I love Danny Dimes, but the Giants won't win a Super Bowl with him, unfortunately.
Well, it's wrong.
It's looking like we have to beat Mahomes and Burrow. Wow.
We'll get there.
I mean, that would be a good
compare
problem to have if the Giants were in a position to be able to face either one of those guys.
Would you compare? Because I can't.
First of all, I'm not a fair weather fan. Don't say that shit.
Oh my God.
Nah, you're not. You're a good fan.
Would you compare? Because I can't put myself in your shoes to say like I understand where you're coming from, and you're coming from a more sensitive place this season, and I understand that. But I can't fully put myself in your shoes to say like I was win the Minnesota game and I'm good after that. Would you compare it kind of to the 2017 Yankees, despite them being so close, but like kind of just playing with house money at that point? Like they shouldn't have been where they were.
Now the Yankees, that was year one, right? That was year one for them. And they got
and we weren't expecting that.
They got the Game 7 ALCS, but I think it's the Yankees' talent. There was not this big of a gap in the talent here. Now, here's the difference. But here's where the Giants need to be different than the Yankees. Don't take a step backwards next year, which could be a very real possibility for them because of how this team needs to be constructed going forward and the way they have to reset their cap. And now they have to pay the quarterback and all this other thing. So the Giants could actually, they could take a step back next year, but don't do that. Keep moving forward, keep building on this.
I truly believe in, and again, I don't watch a lot of football, but from what I watch of them and Dayball, I don't think he allows that to happen. I think that's why you can be so optimistic.
It might not be up to him because, Joe Shane's got a lot of tough decisions to make on the personnel.
No, I understand. But my point is, I feel like what Dayball brings to the Giants, Aaron Boone still lacks.
No, you want
clubhouse in the
first of
in
all,
the Yankees clubhouse.
there's a huge difference between Brian Dable, Coach Dabes, okay, and fucking moron Aaron Boone. All right. First of all, Aaron Boone is just a garbage individual for what he said Saturday morning or whenever he was asked. And look, people are attacking me like, "What do you want him to be a Giant?" I don't care who he roots for, but it just shows the level of stupidity of this guy that you're going to go out there and say something like that in the town that you work for, that you work in, knowing the majority of your fan base is fans of this team also.
I didn't see what he said.
He said that somebody asked him and he said, "Oh, I think the Eagles win and I think it'll be easy." Was he right? Yeah, he was right. But you don't say that. You have to be more diplomatic than that when you work in the same city as these
Is he an
guys.
Eagles fan?
Yeah, he's an
Big
Eagles
time.
fan.
So you're saying he should take the like Jimmy Fallon approach, but Jimmy Fallon, big Red Sox fan, but he wears the Yankee gear.
No, because
he's just a
wear
cuck.
Yankee hats. Okay.
He is a cuck. Okay.
Go ahead.
Here's how I compare it to people. If the Giants were playing the San Francisco 49ers, we all know that Aaron Judge is a huge Niners fan.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
You think Aaron
All right, good comparison.
You think Aaron Judge would have went out there and say, "Yeah, I think the 49ers are going to win by 49 points or something crazy like that"? No, here's what Aaron Judge would say. Either avoid the topic completely, saying, "I think it'll be a good game. We'll see what happens," or, "I respect the Giants. I think it'll be a really good game, but I got to pull for my 49ers," right?
Okay.
He would never say something like that.
I think you're being a little butthurt over it.
I'm not because first of all, I don't like Aaron Boone. And it's just another stupid thing that comes out of his mouth where he doesn't need to be managing this team anymore.
Well, what would you rather him say?
We are going to start banging.
The Eagles are going to win and they're going to win easy, or Aaron Hicks is my starting left fielder?
No, obviously, I would rather him openly pull for the Eagles like that. And we're going to get to that in a little bit later on here. But maybe if it was a manager I had a little bit more respect for, it wouldn't bother me so much. But it's because I have no respect for Aaron Boone at the moment. And I'm watching the other team that I root for have a guy in place that is maximizing the talent of the guys that he has under his control. Okay. You can say that the Yankees have more talent than the Giants do. I know you can't compare apples to apples here, but you would say if you look at the teams on paper, the Yankees are a much more talented team in baseball than the Giants are in football, right?
Yeah. On paper, sure.
But Brian Dable gets every last ounce out of this team, whereas you look at Aaron Boone, you don't feel like he's getting every last ounce out of this Yankee team.
You feel like he's the team therapist who sits down and just lets the guys kind of walk all over him or talk about their feelings.
As a Yankee and Giant fan, right? As a Yankee and Giant fan like I am. So now the last two times that I've heard Aaron Boone speak in between, but the last two times I heard him speak in reference to games that teams I root for are playing, this is what he's done. He's showed the 2022 Yankees highlights of the organization's greatest failure to motivate them. And then he went in the same town that he works for and said the team that most of his fans root for was going to get their ass kicked. So you tell me how I'm supposed to feel about that. The guy's a fucking idiot.
You want to know what his answer should have been, actually? If you really just want to get down to it, his answer should have been, "I really don't care. I'm only focused on winning a World Series," because it's been so many fucking
that would have
years
been a
now
great answer.
That me talking about anything but preparing my team to win a World Series is actually embarrassing.
That would be a great.
How's that answer?
Does he almost root against New York teams to make sure that they aren't making it to the championship?
Do you think he doesn't want to look bad? Yeah, that's a good point.
You think that if the Giants would have made it to the NFC title game, then that would have made him.
He would have said he would have had like a 49ers quote.
Yeah,
that would have been interesting. You think that he openly roots against every team in the town, so
it's not hard to do
until
as they got
until the Yankees win a World Series. He can't handle it.
Who was happy? I think he might have been the happiest guy in the room when the Mets got knocked out by the Padres.
Who's the last major New York team to
the Giants?
Come on.
Yeah, the Giants.
2012?
2012.
Yeah.
But that was really the 2011 season, right?
2011 season, yeah.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
Did the Rangers get to a cup in between there? The Rangers got to a cup in what, 2015?
And they got swept, maybe.
They didn't get. They played the Kings.
Or didn't they? Did they lose to the Devils in the
Kings or
conference?
Blackhawks?
Yeah,
No, the
Blackhawks.
I feel like the Rangers got to a cup after the Giants won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did. They did.
So,
They did.
but it's still been a while. We're going on like 8-9 years now since any team from New York has gotten. Oh, I'm sorry. Do we count FCNYC
Milan or whatever?
FCNYC or whatever it's called?
I don't know.
Didn't the Liberty make it to a championship or something?
Oh,
Are we showing her misogyny by not bringing that up?
Probably. I don't know.
So just to put a bow on this here, and it'll segue into what we're doing tonight, is that the New York Giants now have to build through the draft. They need wide receivers, they need linebackers, they need help, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the Yankees through the past few years have kind of been building through the draft. We've seen the names, right? We all know who they are, and we're going to talk about them for right now because we're going to do something for the first time ever here. It's called Beast or Bust. And I was a little disappointed in the polls. We ran polls. I got to thank Pete for this. He found this for me because I don't know why I was having the hardest time finding an updated list of the Yankee prospect rankings. I took the one from Baseball Prospectus, took the top 5 guys. We ran polls, Beast or Bust. For some reason, this did not resonate with our fan base. It got way less votes than our normal polls do, so I don't know. Plus, I don't know if it's that it didn't resonate or that with Elon with the whole following and for you shit on Twitter. I just don't feel like tweets are getting seen the same way. Also.
I think it's still being worked out, but
I don't know.
Yeah, because I looked on MLB.com, I think it was,
Right.
and they had a completely different top 5 than you.
I will admit that since I'm the media, okay, that I can skew the narrative to push what I want.
Okay, I thought
so. I purposely took Baseball Prospectus because it included Spencer Jones, and I wanted
a pitcher.
No, it had nothing to do with a pitcher, but Spencer Jones is an outfielder. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, kind of, not really.
What do you mean, kind of, not really? I asked you to do some homework. Okay?
Yeah, and you should. And you
All right, Chris,
should...
I'm going to give you your homework back. Just try to redo it. Work on it tonight.
Who's Will Warren? I'm thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, Will Warren.
Back on track.
So you could have got OK plus, OK or OK minus, and if
you want to know why I got confused with Spencer Jones, because he had Tommy John, right?
Right. There's a lot of guys that have gotten Tommy John in the Yankee system. Wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Hey.
So, and the other reason why I was disappointed in the polls is that outside of Will Warren, they were very overwhelming in votes for Beast. Okay, so I don't know. I was hoping that they would be a little bit more divisive, but they weren't.
Well, we can bring some more context to them.
So we'll start with we'll start with Will Warren here. Okay, he's the number 5 on Baseball Prospectus. He's the number 5 ranked Yankee prospect. He's a right-handed pitcher. The vote came in at 52% for Beast. I'll start here. He's a sinker slider guy, which is kind of what the Yankees want. You know, if you notice the guys that they're bringing in, they're hard two seam guys with sliders. It doesn't seem like he has the like the Clay Holmes two-seamer, which is like 98, 99, or the Loizaga that throws 98, 99. For the scouting report I read, he's more sitting around like 92, 93. He can get it to 95. He projects as a starting pitcher. Okay, that's why we were hearing a lot of people were like, "Oh, Dominguez and Warren for Reynolds," because this is now that you traded Medina and Waldachuk and Wesneski, you traded all those guys. This guy is now ascended to be the top pitcher in the Yankees organization. So he should be a AA this year with an impact date. They call them impact dates, right? I think that's what it's called, of 2024. So he's not helping the team this year, but he's a guy that based on what I read, maybe he's like a 3-4 type guy. Maybe he's not a front end type guy. But why I vote bust on Will Warren is because the Yankees don't develop fucking starting pitchers. Okay, so I don't. Out of all the guys on the list, this is Will Warren's the guy I know the least amount about. He's the one I had to read the most about.
Mm-hmm.
But based on nothing to do with him, just based on the Yankees, it's a bust. He's going to be a bust for me.
Yeah, I was going to say automatically for me, it was a bust because of the same exact reason. Unless this guy, and this would still be questionable, unless the guy had like a 1 ERA with a bunch of strikeouts, nasty stuff, would I even consider voting beast for a pitching prospect in the New York Yankees organization? His numbers, from what I remember, were decent. He had like a low 3 ERA, I believe. He had 129 innings pitched. But overall, he's going to be. First of all, they'll probably end up when they do finally bring him up. He'll be a bullpen guy.
Yeah, that's another good point. They could Clark Schmidt him.
Yeah,
they absolutely will.
For him.
They absolutely will because he profiles that same exact way. And or he's just a guy that gets lost in the system. He just slips through the cracks. There's no way this guy's a beast, and there's no way this guy's someone who the Yankees nurture properly.
Well,
I go bust.
Yeah, you go bust there. The upside is that he does. The scattering report shows that he has an above average slider, and that isn't that the pitch that sliders. That's the pitch that a lot of in the Yankee system they kind of try to force.
No, that's what they're teaching right now.
They're forcing them to throw that pitch. So that's a pitch that the Yankees, push their guys to throw. He throws it very well. You could top out at 98 on a 4-seamer, but he sticks with that 2-seamer mostly. So I don't know if he'll end up as a starter, but I could see him having success up here as a reliever. I'm going to change up. I'm going to go with a beast for Will Warren.
You're beasting it?
I'm going beast. He's got this last name Warren. Maybe that's a good luck charm. Adam Warren. Does he have any relation there?
Hopefully
Adam Warren was very mid though, dude.
Very. You wouldn't call Adam Warren a beast? I'm banking on the slider being a really good pitch for him. And, he hasn't had Tommy John yet.
Yeah.
So, and he bulked
Adam
up
Warren
a bit,
announced
so that
officially announced his retirement. And my response in my head was, okay. Like,
who asked?
You have to announce it, dude.
Yeah, I could have sworn he retired like 6 times.
Yeah, but then remember the Yankees signed him again?
Yeah, they did because he had Tommy John.
Because he had Tommy John. Oh, man.
They stashed him. All right, up next is the number 4 ranked prospect, and that's outfielder Jason Dominguez. Right, you want to start off with him?
Yeah, he's going to be a bust, dude. Big time. Now, I don't know, because he's only 19 years old. I know that's
he's actually 20 right now.
20 now. Yeah. No, he's turning 20.
I just looked it up. He's 20.
He's turning 20 in about 2 weeks. His birthday's February 7th.
Is it? Why did it tell me that he was 20 then?
Because it rounded. But he's still a teenager.
It was Fred.
Is it Jason?
Has good speed. His speed has actually kind of decreased a bit the last couple of years because he bulked up a bit.
Why would it round up like that? That's so stupid.
I don't know. Yeah, it shouldn't do that. But I don't know. I don't really like the track record with this guy. He comes out being compared to Mantle and Mike Trout, and it's kind of just slowly dwindled a bit as the years have gone on. I'll go with the bust. He'll never be able to really find himself in New York. High strikeout rate. I don't see him translating well.
Chris, what do you got?
I personally think and I have a weird feeling he's not even going to be a Yankee in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I really think, here's what I think. I think that Cashman could have traded him so many times for big time names.
Well, you did hear the rumor that came out today.
No,
that he was offered for Luis Castillo.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So at least he's offering him. And I think that Cashman will eventually pull the trigger on something and it won't be for the right guy.
Kind of like Justice Sheffield.
Correct. I think that if he does stay a Yankee and make his debut and come up in the big leagues, that he will be a beast for this team. I really do.
You think he'll be a beast?
Yeah, I really do. This kid's so young and he's so talented. I really do. And one thing we got to give Cashman credit for is his ability to sign these guys with the international money. And this
he likes the international slut money.
Yeah. And this dude looks like he could be something big. But like I said, I just have a weird feeling he'll be the guy the Yankees give up in a big trade before any of the other top prospects. And I just don't see him here in a couple of years. But like I said, if he is, I go beast on him.
I've been vocal about this for a few weeks now, and I'll put the official stamp on it. I got bust for Jason Dominguez.
Wow.
There's just something about him that is not resonating with me right now. And maybe it's because when he got called up to Double-A last year, he struggled mightily. And really, when he got to Triple-A and started working with, believe it or not, Harrison Bader a little bit, when Bader was rehabbing, it's kind of turned the season around there. He went down to the Winter League, and he didn't do much down there either. I mean, he was striking out against 59-year-old Octavio Dotel. That's a joke.
That's great.
But no, he really didn't do much down there. To me, all right, this kid is nicknamed the Martian, right? And I've said this before. Martians are things that are out of this world, okay? So if you come up here and you're 22, 23 years old, that's not out of this world, okay? That's a guy that's a prospect that didn't go to college and went through the system.
Well, to be fair, the Yankees really they wait way too long to call these kids up. I mean, who knows? It's not like back in the day where how old was Jeter when he came up?
Yeah, it had been what?
20?
Yeah, something like that.
You know, we don't see that much anymore. We don't see guys come up at 20 and make a name for themselves.
Is Juan Soto special?
Yeah, Juan Soto's very special, but maybe
he was 19 years old when he got called up.
Yeah, well, maybe that has something to do with how special he is. Maybe calling him up when he was so young has something to do with it.
So if this kid is that special, why is he,
where
he is right now?
Well, maybe the Yankees that's part of their problem. Maybe they let these guys sit and waste in the minor leagues, when sometimes with talent like that, you have to challenge it and you have to call them up and see what they have.
He's not ready. I'm telling you, he's not. He's not ready to be a major league
Fine, I'm not
player.
saying right now. Maybe give him one more year.
I don't see it. To me, I just don't have that feeling about him, that he's going to be somebody that is going to come up here and impact the Yankees for 10 years, be another cornerstone of this team. My mind is that I just don't feel this about him. And it's just all these little things that I keep seeing that adding up with him that are just not, it's just not computing with me. And you keep hearing, these little trickles now that he's been offered. We see how Brian Cashman treats the guys that he values the most, right? And it's funny, though, that on the same day, Andujar and Justice Sheffield got DFA'd. Was it Saturday? They both got DFA'd? Yeah.
I didn't see that Sheffield got DFA'd. I just saw that Andujar did.
They were once, I think in 2018, or they were
top prospects. No?
They were 3 and 4 in the system.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
That's why I keep telling everybody, if there's deals to be done, you do them. But I just don't trust Jason Dominguez. He's a bust for me.
Wow.
And like you said, to be honest with you, I think, like you said, bro, I think eventually he'll be the one that gets traded. So he'll be somewhere else.
For sure.
And honestly, I won't be upset over it, because if he goes out there and becomes Mickey Mantle for somebody else, whatever.
It probably wouldn't have happened here anyway. It
probably wouldn't have happened anyway. And the fan vote was 79% beast for him. Okay. The Yankees' third-ranked prospect is outfielder Spencer Jones. He was the first-round pick for the Yankees last year. and the vote was 85% beast for Spencer Jones. Chris, you want to start with him?
Yeah, he's got a good bat. He's got a pretty decent average from what I remember. He had a pretty decent average. What he bat for something?
He
344 last year, and for I guess high A ball.
he
and
was
A
in
ball
high A last year. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I just, it's so difficult for me. You really, when you're doing this in the Yankees organization, it's so tough to rate them in a vacuum, just looking at stats and scouting reports, because not to be negative, but time and time again, we've seen guys like Spencer Jones just not come to fruition or not get called up when they should have gotten called up. Or how many times have we seen the Yankees with these top prospects that are just on the fence of being ready, but instead the Yankees call up, a top 20 guy or a guy that's 30 or 35 or whatever in their system instead, to not expose them. And I feel like Spencer Jones is just going to be another one of those guys that just, when he does come up, it's just not going to work out for him here. You have to be a true superstar, which is why I like Jason Dominguez and why I vote Beast for him, because even though he struggles and even though he maybe is still immature, I think he has the quality to be a superstar. And I don't see that with Spencer Jones. I go bust.
Well, I am in total disagreement with you on that one. I think Spencer Jones is a beast. I think he's going to be a beast. He's went to college, so he's more mature. He's going to be the first one out of Dominguez and what do you call it? Him and Dominguez. So he should be the one that gets to this team the fastest. It's not and there's another reason why I'm down on Dominguez is that, Spencer Jones has leaped him in a few of these rankings, that he's a higher ranked prospect than him. The knock on Spencer Jones from a lot of the scouting reports that I read is he's got a lot of swing and miss in his game.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's not something that we want. It's been killing the Yankees in the postseason. But this is a 5-tool guy, bro. He graded down as a 5-tool guy.
Okay, and when do we see him?
2025.
Right.
No way.
You think we see him this year?
There's a legitimate chance that you could see it, especially if the Yankees don't make any moves for a left fielder. There's a legitimate chance you could see him this year. I believe that.
Is he on the 40-man, though?
No, they'd have to put him on the 40-man.
I think Everson Pereira will get the chance over anybody in the system.
He's so great. We don't have an outfielder. He's so great. We don't have an outfielder. He's not even on the 40-man.
He doesn't have to be on the 40-man.
And how old is he?
He's got to be what, 24? No, he's got to be a little bit older.
Call him up when he's 30.
21. I got it.
He's 21, so he's more mature at 21 since he went to college,
Right. Well, he did get Tommy John. Don't forget that.
6'7".
That is true.
He's 6'7". He's a big boy, just like Aaron Judge. He's a center fielder.
They say he's a great outfielder too.
What I just said that I just told you that he projects as a 5-tool guy. Oh, he grades out as a 5-tool guy. The Yankees drafted him and stuck him right in the minor leagues. He came out swinging. So I got a good feel. Like, just like I don't have a good feeling about Dominguez, I got a good feeling about Spencer Jones. I really do. And if he can be a guy that can help this team this year, that would be that. I don't see it. I don't think the Yankees will do it because, again, it's the Yankees. But you could look at him possibly as especially if they let Bader, if they don't extend Bader, he could be in the mix to be an outfielder next year on this team.
Mm-hmm.
He was originally drafted by the Angels, right? And then he chose to go to college,
just like Judge did.
Wow.
Yes. He played a little first base at Vanderbilt too, so
anyone could play first.
That in there, but yeah, I didn't. From just reading up a little bit on him, I didn't like the strikeout rate. But the one thing that really stood out is that he rarely pulls the ball, and as a lefty, that's the last guy I want on this team. A lefty that doesn't pull the ball.
Well, what if he hits for contact though?
No, but
he does hit for hard contact, so there is that.
I read that about him. and I actually like it. I like a lefty that's not pull happy at Yankee Stadium.
I do too, but not a power guy though.
We've seen it ruin guys. But dude, if he's that strong, he's that big, he can easily go. I mean, it's not going to be a lot for him to go hit the ball up the middle in the gaps, into left field over there. So I mean,
that's why I like Benintendi on this team. I liked having a lefty like that who hit for contact.
Yeah, but he was a contact guy. I don't think Spencer Jones profile, although he does have high batting average numbers, I don't think he's going to profile as a contact guy.
I mean, he could, but
he could. I think you got to see. I want to see more of him with some better pitching.
Okay, that's fair, and I think that's all fair. But I like him as a beast. Okay,
nice build though, huh? 6'7".
He's a big guy.
225.
But if you told me he had to swing and miss and was pull happy, I would feel differently about him. But the fact that he's not a pull happy hitter.
Yeah, it's almost impressive in a way that he is able to do that.
Look,
Christian,
I know Mark Teixeira was like a 280, 300.
Yeah.
Mark Teixeira was a very good hitter.
Yeah.
And you could tell me shift this, shift that. No, he got to Yankee Stadium and he became pull happy and he turned himself into a 220 hitter. So
Someone's saying Judge and Jones in the chat went to the same school. Didn't know that.
Same high school?
I don't know.
No, he's not. Is he from Linden, California?
He's from California.
Wow. If that's true, that's pretty cool. I know you said this, Christian, but I just want to reiterate that sometimes that right field porch just really gets to lefty batters with high guys who come here with that can hit for average or contact, and then all of a sudden they hit a few home runs and then they're trying to yank everything.
Well, that's
right. Well, the Jones Judge they played together they didn't play together. They played for the same summer ball team, the Brewster Whitecock. Oh my God.
Whitecock.
The Brewster Whitecaps of the Cape Cod League is the same Cape team that Judge played for almost 10 years earlier.
Yeah, Spencer Jones didn't. He's from California, but he didn't go to that high school. I
wouldn't mind a Brewster Whitecap.
Okay.
Or Whitecock.
Or a Whitecock.
Either one.
Well, this Spencer Jones is dead. But that's not who we're talking about. Okay.
R.I.P.
Before we get to the final two here, we've been teasing this for a couple of weeks now. Some leaked audio from Brian Cashman. Chris, do you want to go ahead and play one of those clips right now?
Sorry, I had to cue it up. Yeah. Playing the first one here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So I was sitting down having a chat with Omar and SGB, and we were talking about possible organizational changes. And so we
now when you say Omar, you're talking about newly hired Omar Minaya?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And SGB.
Oh,
what's that?
Yeah. That's just a little acronym nickname I've come up with for newly hired Brian Sabian. Just felt that we both have the same first name, Brian, that it would be best to give him an acronym. SGB stands for Scout Guy Bry.
All right, Scout Guy Bry. Look at that.
Look at that. Okay, wow. So that was, from what I understand, part one of 3 parts that we were able to obtain leaked audio of.
Yeah, never before heard audio
of Cashman and Francesa talking to each other. Okay.
Yeah, talking about the new hires. Pretty cool. I like it.
I don't think it was on record, but Francesa kept the recording.
Right. Yeah. They didn't realize that they started the recording of the podcast.
But Francesa's Italian, bro. Doesn't he know that you don't record people without their consent? Dude, you get killed for that shit.
Okay.
If they did it in New Jersey, only one party needs to know that someone is recording. So maybe Mike's finding some loopholes.
Yeah, but I watched The Sopranos, bro. I know that you don't make it through. I know you don't make it through for that. Okay.
Yeah, there's no loopholes in The Sopranos.
True.
All right. So speaking of organizational changes, this would represent an organizational change, I guess you could say, if the number 2 ranked prospect on Baseball Prospectus list for the New York Yankees is the starting shortstop on opening day, and that is Oswald Peraza. Did I say this? It was an 85% but beast for
No, you didn't say. Oh no, you didn't say that for Jones.
Ryan, what did you end up going with that for him?
Bust.
Bust?
Yeah,
I'm the only one.
I like him. I like him though. You did kind of sway me with the idea that he is. It kind of almost works well that he's an opposite field guy that strikes out a lot. That's a kind of, if there is a good combo, that would be a good one. So I don't know. I liked your analysis there, but I'm sticking with bust.
So now on this poll that we ran for Oswald Peraza, somebody's like, well, why didn't you vote option C somewhere in the middle? Because I don't care, because you could literally put all these guys somewhere in the middle. I want you to take a hard stand on this here. Beast or bust. Oswald Peraza, shortstop. It was 85% for beast on Peraza. I'll start. I'm going beast. I'm going opening day shortstop for him. I saw enough from what I don't need to read scouting reports. I saw what I saw out of him last year. This guy is a great defensive shortstop. He's going to hit enough to be a Major League Baseball player. Whether or not he has power, it doesn't matter. And a lot of people are saying that he's going to be a punch and Judy hitter. I don't care. You hit 300 and play that defense, you could hit 2 home runs. It doesn't matter. Because what did IKF hit last year? 4 home runs? And he batted 260.
Yeah, he did it in the last 2 games of the year.
And he was fucking atrocious at shortstop. Okay? So give me a natural shortstop that has the potential to hit 300. That's a beast in my book. Oswald Peraza is my shortstop. He's a beast.
Yeah, you pumped me up there. I'm going beast 2 for him, especially from what we saw in the playoffs last year. I was kind of bummed out that they benched him toward the end, right? In that against the Astros in the ALCS. His defense to come up and, start your Yankee career in that under the spotlight like that, and to look like you've been a shortstop in this league for a decade, that can't be easy to do. So the fact that he was able to do that in a high pressure situation, you give him 6 months of a regular season, he'll find himself and be a nice supplement to the power of this lineup. Just be a great glove too, which is the big thing that this team has been missing at shortstop for too long now.
Here's my biggest issue with Peraza. How many shortstops have the Yankees passed up on?
80.
Yeah, at least almost 10.
For who?
Not for him.
Right.
Okay. I personally don't think he's the starting shortstop on opening day. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm just being negative. I hope I'm just expecting this team to do the same thing that they would do every other year and that I'm wrong. I don't see it. I think IKF being on this team is the starting shortstop. You know how the Yankees love to make their veterans feel important, regardless of if they deserve to be there. IKF, just like they did all year last year, telling us how great he was, will most likely be our starting shortstop, in my opinion. However, I don't necessarily think that's the reason why Peraza won't be the starting shortstop. I think it will be more about the Yankees not wanting to put him out there on opening day, because that's a statement. And I don't think the Yankees want him to be their shortstop. Now, what if you put this kid out there and he has a superstar season at shortstop, offensively and defensively? What do you do? Because you just passed up. So you're telling me now you passed up on all these shortstops for Anthony Volpe, but now you have a superstar out there who you actually called up while Volpe rots in the minor leagues. And then what? You're going to move him? Have we not seen this before? Have we not seen this script? What are you going to do? I don't think the Yankees put themselves in that situation because they don't want to look bad. I don't think they want Yankee fans to sit there and say, this is my shortstop, just like you're saying.
IKF is the fucking shortstop on opening day.
Yeah, but they don't think that way. They don't think that way. They think Yeah, right now we might look bad, but wait till we call up Volpe in 4 years. Wait until he's the shortstop.
Look, you might have had a point last year, but you could see that the Yankees are affected by the fans now. Okay, you've seen in the way that they operate in this offseason.
I think talent-wise, he's a beast. I don't know if I trust the Yankees to let that play out, but I will stay optimistic with Peraza because I really like his ability, especially defensively. We didn't get to see a lot of him offensively, but when he did get consistent at bats, you could see what kind of swing he had.
Sure, I'm pretty sure he hit over 300 in the limited time that he was.
Just defensively, he would be one of the best defensive shortstops we've seen in pinstripes in a while.
I know it was only 57 at plate appearances, but he hit 306 last year. So, and he's already got his first
a lot of that came towards the end of the year when he was getting consistent at bats and he started to really fucking rake. And we were actually debating would he be in the lineup in the playoffs.
Well, he should have been in the fucking lineup.
He should have been. Yeah, he should have been.
Well, there's a lot of layers to this, and here's the final layer. And here's one of the layers, and that's the number 1 ranked Yankee prospect, and that's Anthony Volpe. And the vote for Anthony Volpe was a little bit lower than some of these other guys, but still overwhelmingly beast by the fans. And it was 78%. Okay.
Did you want to get to another clip before we?
No, we'll get to a clip after we wrap up this segment here. So, Rye, you want to start with Anthony Volpe?
Well, just for my own sake, I'm going beast. Because if he's not, then all of this, the last 5 or so years of this guy has been a complete waste of time. So hopefully he pans out. I love the best thing about him is what I've seen from him off the field. I like his demeanor, his approach to the game, the way he answers questions, very Jeter-like. Give him some more opportunity at the AAA level this year to see what he's got. Hopefully he takes a step in the right direction and he's ready to go. And I'm gonna go with the beast. You know, he has to be with the way that they've touted this kid. But again, with that in mind, there's going to be a bunch of pressure on him to prove them right. So
again, in a vacuum, I say Volpe's a beast. I think he is going to be a superstar. But the expectation they've put on him from the fans. Again, I just mentioned how many shortstops we passed up on in the middle of Garrett Cole's prime and Aaron Judge's prime. We're passing up on guys who could have put this team over the top. And we pass on them for Anthony Volpe, a guy who's should be great, but we haven't even seen him take a major league at bat. And now you have a little bit more pressure with Peraza, especially if he's going to be the starting shortstop. So if Peraza performs and then Anthony Volpe comes up here and he doesn't take off right off the bat, that's another layer of pressure.
Yeah.
So again, I think he's another kid who the Yankees just aren't handling properly. They say we're not putting any pressure on him. Well, you did it in so many ways by passing up on so much talent when you could have really built this team around your big superstars in their prime. You chose not to, and you still haven't called this kid up. If they were going to call up Anthony Volpe for opening day and tell me he's our starting shortstop and just say, fuck it, this kid's that good, I'd have a completely different outlook. But again, talent-wise, I think the kid's a beast. I just don't know if he'll ever live up to the expectations. So I'm going ultimate bust. Okay.
He's a bust.
You think so? Is that your real?
No, that's my real opinion on him.
Are you higher on Peraza than him?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because there's no pressure on Oswald Peraza.
But do you think you're a little biased because you've seen Peraza and what he can do?
No, I'm biased. And I don't know, is anti-bias a word? I'm anti-biased against him, if that even makes any sense, because of what the Yankees have done. This kid is under enormous pressure. I don't care what anybody says. When the Yankees punt on 2 shortstop classes of the type of guys that have went through this the free agent market the last 2 years because of him. I've said it before. He can't be okay. He can't be a guy that makes a couple of might sniff an all-star game here and there, be a like a major league starter. This kid needs to be a superstar. This kid needs to be one of the top 10 to 15 players in Major League Baseball based on the way the Yankees are hyping him. The Yankees are the ones that want him to be Derek Jeter. Now, he won't be because Aaron Judge is here, but can he be what Jorge Posada or Mariano Rivera, I know he's a pitcher, but can he be that 1A in what you hope is the next dynasty to Aaron Judge? That's what the Yankees want him to be. That's a lot for somebody to live up to.
That's what they not just want him to be. That's what they think he is.
That's what he needs to be.
So,
yeah,
he can't come up. Look, the reason why everybody that wants Gleyber Torres gone, because he's not lived up to the number one prospect ranking that he had. Gleyber Torres is now, look, he was you want to take 2020 and throw it out the window? That's fine. But he was atrocious in 2021. One of the worst everyday players in Major League Baseball. But maybe that's the outlier. Maybe what we've seen in him in the other years is that he's a legit Major League Baseball player, a legit starter in this league, a guy that is at maybe not an all-star level, but right there at an all-star level, right? Anthony Volpe can't be Gleyber Torres. He can't be that guy because he will be a disappointment, just like Gleyber Torres is a disappointment because he hasn't hit what a number one prospect, should hit. So ultimately, that's going to be a lot for him to live up to.
I agree.
And because it's the Yankees and because they put all this pressure on him, I'm going bust on him. That's just my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. And you keep hearing, look, to me, and this might sound insane. This might legitimately sound insane. He's closer to Miguel Andujar, Clint Frazier than he is to being Aaron Judge.
What makes you say that?
Because he is constantly the one guy that you keep hearing that the Yankees will not trade. He isn't it?
Yeah, but why would that make him?
Because the Yankees were always willing to go one, but not both. You kept hearing, for Garrett Cole, right? They wanted Miguel Andujar and Clint Frazier. The Yankees wouldn't go both. Now both of those guys are out of the league, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yankees are willing to trade Jason Dominguez, but they won't go Dominguez and Volpe. They won't go right? So he's this one guy. So I'm just maybe it's PTSD from all this shit, but I'm just going, this is the one guy the Yankees won't go to bring in somebody that they desperately need. How's that been working out for them?
Not good. Not
good. And again, if I told you that the Yankees could have had Luis Castillo on this team and it would have cost them Dominguez and Volpe, would you have signed the trade on the Yankees end?
Yes.
The Yankees are not signing those trades. The Yankees are not signing the trades where they have to do Dominguez and Volpe. That's scary and again, that has nothing to really do with Anthony Volpe's ability as a baseball player. It's just the history of the Yankee organization. That scares me when he's the guy, the guy that's keeping you from making moves. How's that been working out for them?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there.
Yeah, you're making valid points.
That's why guys like Peraza and Volpe, I didn't really dive into their scouting reports because there's really no need to. Those are gut reaction type of things.
Right.
Well, I've seen Oswald Peraza play Major League Baseball. I think he's going to be a hell of a Major League Baseball. I know short sample size, right? But I see the natural ability he has as a shortstop.
Maybe Volpe has it too.
Maybe he does, but I just think the way the Yankees have acted is going to hinder him in some way, shape, or form. I hope I'm wrong.
I think that's the theme of this whole segment right now.
Yeah, hope I'm wrong.
If you take these guys in a vacuum and you're just basing it off of their ability and what kind of numbers they're putting up and how we think that will translate in the major leagues, I think all of them could be beasts.
There's another poll out there on I don't know. I can't remember where it was, but they also rated the top overrated prospects in Major League Baseball. Anthony Volpe, if he wasn't number one, he's in the top 5.
Wow.
You know, and we heard
he's got to have the talent. So if he doesn't translate when he comes up to the major leagues, is that due to, again, just the Yankees? It can't really be due to the Yankees overhyping a prospect if overall he's ranked that high. So maybe then we can pinpoint that it's something to do with the Yankee organization. Maybe they don't call him up soon enough. Maybe it's the way they're progressing in the minor leagues. I don't know.
Until a guy outside of Aaron Judge hits, and I don't mean hits with a baseball, I mean hits as being a star player.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have at least a little bit of doubt out of all these guys, because the Yankees are not developing them. They're just not.
It's true.
Think about the guys that are close, that have come up since Aaron Judge has come up, that have been close, right? Luis Severino is probably the closest, because he's not a superstar because he lacks talent. He's not a superstar because he can't stay healthy. If Sevy would have been healthy through these past 4 or 5 years, is it crazy to say that he's a top 20 pitcher in baseball?
No, not at all. Because in 2018, when he went on his first half run, you saw what he was capable of. He was in that time considered top five starting pitcher in all baseball.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to look at it. The guy you could cite them chapter and verse, the guys that have come up and failed. Gary Sanchez says that he has to see a psychiatrist from the way he was treated around here. Okay, you know, shouldn't make fun of his mental health, but you know, that's the way he feels. You know, Greg Bird was supposed to be Don Mattingly, and you know, think of all these guys, man. Like
Clint Frazier, Chance Adams,
right? And you know, you want to say that I know you like
Jabba,
but Jabba's pre this era.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to.
And Jabba was actually very, very successful.
But they ruined him.
Yes.
Yeah, they did ruin him. That was who came up with the Jabba rules?
Brian Cashman.
So, I think we have another clip ready to go from Brian Cashman.
All right, let's roll.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned organizational changes.
Right.
When you were talking to Manayer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is anything you want to talk about here? Okay.
You know, we are looking at possibly changing the facial hair policy, but you know, only for the front office. So that'll be kind of grandfathered in a bit. So, you know, we're not going to make Manaea and Sabian wear or, you know, shave their faces. So, you know, they can, do that. But, you know, that's anybody who has been here does have to follow that procedure.
Okay. So you're not going to see, you're not going to see Hal with a ponytail,
right?
Okay. No, okay, you're not gonna see Randall Levine with some mutton chops.
No,
okay.
No sideburns.
You like pork chops?
Allowed him.
I like pork chops. What? What?
All right.
Could you imagine Hal coming to the next big press conference with a rat tail?
Imagine though. Could see it in the future.
All right, so before we get to the final segment of the show, I want to bring this up here. The next event, NYYST Day 2, is on the books, fellas. April 1st, which is the second game of the season, which should be Carlos Rodon's Yankee debut. The game is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which I didn't realize. It's a 4 o'clock start. NYYST Day 2, April 1st. And we're in the Audi Club this year.
All right.
Food for the whole game.
You can get into the club 90 minutes prior to first pitch, and they have a 5-star rotating menu that will last into the 7th inning. We will, after we're done recording here, I'll pin the link to at NYY. Jesus, Mary and Joseph at NY. There's too many NYYs here. At NYYST_podcast. I'll pin the link here. But we hope to see everybody out there. We're already in negotiations to expand the tickets that have been made available because they're selling fast. So if you want to be there, you want to see Carlos Rodon. Well, I would like to definitively say that it's going to be Carlos Rodon's debut as with the Yankees, but who knows with this friggin' team what the hell they're going to do?
You never know.
Would it surprise you if Frankie Montas is out for the first month of the year?
Right.
Okay. So do that. If you're currently watching live on NYY News TV, please leave please like this video, smash the like button. Okay. If you're offended by Chris and Ryan's recreational tobacco chewing, go fuck yourself. Okay. But
okay.
For everybody else, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. Who's not getting a 5-star rating and review is fucking Brian Cashman for this quote from yesterday, or yesterday was Sunday, right? He was on Sirius XM MLB Network Radio, and this is what he had to say regarding the Yankees left field situation. We have lines out on certain opportunities. If it happens in February or March, so be it, or we go with what we have. And this is from the article. Cashman added a prediction that probably will bug a lot of Yankee fans. His best guess is that Hicks will open the season as a starter in left field, even though the scumbag loser, I added that, has underachieved or been hurt in the majority of the first 4 years of his 7-year contract. And this is back to the quote from Cashman. I suspect he will be the guy that emerges because he is still really talented and everything is there. Hopefully we get the Aaron Hicks we know is in there back as a consistent player for us.
No, hopefully we don't. And don't tell us we don't know what we're talking about, because we said this was going to happen for how many months now?
Yeah.
Like it's bad enough you didn't or haven't yet gotten a legitimate left fielder. That's bad enough. Now you're telling me you're going to start Aaron Hicks?
Okay.
When I predict those things, deep down, I'm like, I'm just being pessimistic. They couldn't really do that. Oh, my God, man.
Aaron Hicks is the opening day Yankee left fielder.
And then, you know what? You might as well just turn the fucking television off.
Smart or Yankees.
Nice.
You might as well turn it off for the rest of the year.
And if you're watching live on NYY News TV, go to NYYNewsTV.com and get yourself the NYYST Smarter Yankees t-shirt. All right.
They start at Yankee Stadium against the Giants.
Yes, they do.
Just like I don't want to start with that kind of environment. Like you're setting up the environment to be loud in the worst way possible.
Let me tell you,
guy's gonna get coming up.
Let me tell you something right now, okay? Let me tell you something right now. All right. If Wash Donaldson is the third baseman on opening day, I don't like it, but I live with it. Even if IKF is the opening day shortstop, I don't like it, but I live with it. You want to know why? Because I never, ever questioned either of those two guys, their intent and the amount of effort they gave on the baseball field. Never questioned it once in all of last year. Aaron Hicks, it is such a disgrace that you even mention Aaron Hicks as being the leading candidate, let alone a candidate, to be the left fielder for this team next year, based on the way that he quit on this team and threw the manager under the bus. I got no love for Aaron Boone right now. I really don't. And has nothing to do with what he said about the New York Giants. I don't have any love for him because he's failing as the manager of this team. But he takes up for his players. Maybe a little bit too much. Maybe he's a little too friendly to these guys. He's a little too soft with them. But when he had an opportunity to bury Aaron Hicks on Derek Jeter night, Aaron Boone took the high road.
Mm-hmm.
But Aaron Hicks decided he's going to drive a New Jersey Transit bus right over Aaron Boone. I see when Joey Gallo got traded, what did he say? I see what Joey Gallo does now that he's playing with a real manager, to paraphrase, even though Joey Gallo hit 160 with the fucking Dodgers. Okay. Okay. But that's what Aaron Hicks said. Aaron Hicks then said, I can help another team win. I can help another team win. Aaron Hicks quit on this team when the franchise's biggest living icon was being honored that night. He quit on this team while this team was in a pennant race. He quit on them. And you still have this guy on the roster. It is a fucking disgrace that he is still on this baseball team, and you're still actually considering him to be the starting opening day left fielder. Whether or not it's semantics or whatever, the fact that he has not been released is an absolute joke. It's a joke that he's still collecting a paycheck from the New York Yankees based on his actions. If Aaron Hicks is just bad at baseball, whatever. Like IKF is bad at baseball. Wash Donaldson is bad at baseball. So if you're starting these guys that are just bad at baseball, that's fine. Sometimes you have to start bad players. This guy is a loser. He's a loser. When we talk about the dog pile, when the Yankees win 28, who's jumping in the dog pile? Aaron Hicks is not in the dog pile. He shouldn't be on this team. It is an insult to everybody that roots for this team, that pays money to watch this team, and especially if you're a fan like we are, that have a certain affinity for Derek Jeter. And yeah, I'm going to take that as a personal offense that the night he quit was on Derek Jeter night, because there's ever a day where you're going to give your best effort. Shouldn't it be that day when that guy's in the building being honored?
Absolutely.
Sure.
It's an absolute insult to all of us that he's still collecting a paycheck from this team, and that you're actually going to try to tell us that you're going to give this guy the fucking left field job. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, and it's an insult. And look, I can almost look at Hal Steinbrenner and telling Brian Cashman, saying, well, hey, this is your mistake. Learn to live with it. Deal with it. But at the same time, if I'm Hal Steinbrenner too, this is also falls on Hal Steinbrenner, because if I own the team and I hear all this shit, you're gone. Hit the drop, Chris.
Get the fuck out!
That's the only thing that Brian Cashman should be saying regarding Aaron Hicks. And there's reports today saying the Yankees are willing to eat money. They just haven't matched up. Yeah. I don't care about eating money. Eat all of it. Give him his fucking pink slip. Let him go be a pro at Topgolf, or like Wash Donaldson was on the LPGA tour this weekend. Let him go do some shit like that. The last place that Aaron Hicks needs to be is in the Yankee dugout. And further from that, the last place he really needs to be is standing in left field when Garrett Cole throws the first fucking pitch of the season this year. What an absolute fucking disgrace that's going to be if that's the case.
It's the one thing that couldn't happen, and I actually believed it wouldn't. I actually believed the Yankees were going to make the right move with him and finally cut ties. And that it should have happened right after that night. They should have just released him. And I thought to myself, you know what? Yankees they don't really have that image anymore. They're gonna do it the right way, I guess, and just let him go in the offseason. And it is crazy to me. I don't care if you get another player out there. Aaron Hicks cannot not just be on this team. He can absolutely not be starting on opening day, and he's going to be.
He might even lead off.
It's crazy, bro. It's like we're being pranked. Honestly, that's what it feels like.
Decade-long prank.
It's crazy, man.
No, that's why, like I said, dude, I can live with Wash, Donaldson, and IKF being starters on this team, and the fact that I know, based on watching them, even if they suck, I'm getting everything that they have. And yeah, Josh Donaldson's a fucking asshole and he's a prick.
Yeah.
But I never questioned whether or not he gave full effort on the field. Did you ever question Josh Donaldson's effort last year?
No. Maybe on the singles that he thought were home runs.
Yeah.
But that happens.
I mean,
that happens 5 times.
I don't know if I question his effort as much as I question him. Like, he's just kind of fucking annoying to me.
Yeah, no, he's annoying. He's an asshole, bro. He's somebody that you find yourself even on your own team. You have issues rooting for him because he's an instigator, and it's not even the Jackie Anderson shit. It's the whole, like, he made what was it, the Tampa pitcher, the Toronto pitcher, made him look stupid, and he's telling throw me a curve. Like you're just fucking struck out against this guy. Like, shut up, just sit down and be quiet. You're hitting 220. Be quiet.
Right.
But Aaron Hicks flat out quit on this team. Aaron Hicks threw the manager under the bus. Brian Cashman, okay? Let me. I wish that I could ask Brian Cashman this question. You love Aaron Boone. You would adopt him if you could to be your son. That's how much you love him.
Yeah.
Yet you let Aaron Hicks disrespect him in the fucking media after Aaron Boone went to bat for him when the guy quit on the team, and you do nothing about it. In fact, you're just going to hand him a starting job on a team that you're trying to tell us is a World Series team. Make that make sense.
Again, we just go back to the question, is this team serious? And you look for the proof of either answer. And I'm sorry, they've done things that make me feel they're a little more serious. But Aaron Hicks starting in left field on opening day, man, that sets the tone right back to where it was for me.
And this is not an original thought. Pete brought this up in our group chat, and I'm going to repeat it here because I fully believe it. The Yankees do not deserve to win a fucking thing in 2023 if Aaron Hicks is in left field on opening day.
I couldn't agree more with that. I really couldn't. Because you're doing it to yourselves. Just like getting Montas when he's hurt and then he's on the IL, doing shit like that, you know what you're getting. You're doing it to yourself. So you don't deserve shit if you're willingly putting a guy out there that should not be here.
Let me read this part of the quote again, because this is just I'm going to have an aneurysm over this. Ready? Excuse me. I suspect he will be the guy that emerges because he is still really talented and everything is there.
Where?
Was he not healthy last year?
Can we make a shirt that just says where?
Was he not healthy last year? Was Aaron Hicks not healthy?
Mentally, no.
No, physically. Was he healthy last year? How many home runs did he hit?
I don't know, -1.
No, he hit 6.
8.
So for a fully healthy, and this is what I said, and this is where Aaron Hicks defenders could always come up and say, well, he's never been healthy. He has an elite walk rate. He's never been healthy. Okay, Aaron Hicks was healthy last year. Okay, Aaron Hicks. This is Aaron Hicks. A healthy season of Aaron Hicks. Okay, ready for it? All right. Aaron Hicks had he had 19 extra base hits in 130 games. 19 extra base hits in 130 games. Okay, he had a batting average of .216, OPS of .642. That's a healthy Aaron Hicks.
And didn't he set like a a record for most at bats without a hit.
Yeah, wasn't he like 0 for 30? He
was like 0 for
deep,
50.
He had a deep 0 for 2.
Like, we're gonna keep running him out there. We think he still has it. Crazy.
When he had on top of all that, had the balls in spring training to go on CC Sabathia's podcast and say, we got some fuck you in us. I'm going to be a 30-30 guy. No, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I have never hated, and I know it's a strong you should never shut up. I have never hated a player that wears the uniform of a team I root for more than Aaron Hicks, okay? And it's not because he's bad. It's because of all the dumb shit that he does and he says, and he cannot back it up on the field. Cannot do it. He was healthy last year, and that's what you got from him. So Brian Cashman, if I can inject him with truth serum, and now maybe, and again, everybody's like, well, he's got to pump up Aaron Hicks or else he'll never trade him. Shut up. Because legitimately, he said that Sonny Gray was a pile of dog shit. He would never work in New York, and he still fucking traded Sonny Gray, okay? He said that. Remember all the things he said about him? He's not going to work here. It's like pushing a rock up a hill or whatever he said about Sonny Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Still managed to trade him, right? Still found somebody that wanted him. So he doesn't have to pump anybody up for Aaron Hicks. If there's a market for him, he could find somebody that wants him. Problem is nobody wants him because they saw the same shit that we saw last year, that you got a guy with a 646 OPS that was fully healthy, a 216 batting average. A guy that had 19 extra base hits
but
in
here's
130 games.
But here's the thing. He doesn't have to be traded for anyone. At the very least, you give him a call and say, hey, pack your shit. You're not on the team anymore. Here's your check. We're getting rid of you. You're a cancer to the clubhouse, to this team. See ya. See ya. Why won't Cashman do it? He's been Cashman's guy for how long now?
The same reason Aroldis Chapman decided to go to the Royals, because his ego's too big. And he doesn't want to cut ties with the possibility of moving on.
I don't condone bullying in children. I think this just leads to a whole bad thing right there. Children should not be raised to be bullies. But if I was in the Yankee clubhouse, I would bully the fuck out of Aaron Hicks until he left.
Yeah, I agree. I concur.
All right.
Okay.
So we have one more clip left, I believe.
Yeah, let's do it. Final
big clip.
The final clip.
And one last thing that we all kind of sat down and, discussed was the possibility of not wearing pinstripes this year, to kind of only do alternate uniforms, and going to do a collaboration with Yes Network and Amazon, do a little tagline of earn your stripes as the slogan of the year. So we won't be wearing pinstripes for the entirety of the regular season. And, the postseason, we won't wear the pinstripes, and, your earning of them will be getting back finally to the World Series. And, so that's something that the three of us, myself, Omar, Manaya, and SGB kind of really just sat down and wanted
SGB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scout Pack right.
All right. No pinstripes this year, possibly.
Interesting. So, Ryan, you alluded to this. The Aroldis Chapman era in New York Yankees is officially over. He signed with he signed with the Kansas City Royals. Apparently, there were three teams in on him. He signed for about $3.2 million with the Royals. He's going to be the closer. Miami was at about $2 million, and San Diego Padres were actually interested in him, offered him more money, but not the closer role. So he went to Kansas City. And I firmly 100% on everything that means anything to me. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I would 100% re-sign Aroldis Chapman if it meant that Aaron Hicks wasn't on this team anymore.
Absolutely. It wouldn't even be a
100%
question. Wouldn't even be a question. I'd let him even start as the closer and let him lose it.
Sure.
I would, yeah, I would even hand him the closing ball.
Aaron, cheers to lose, pal.
If it meant no Aaron Hicks.
I'm down with that.
Just whatever. So we're rapidly approaching the beginning of spring training here. Next week when we record, it'll be January 30th. Believe it or not, the Yankees will be just two weeks away from reporting the spring training. So it'll be here before we know it.
Will you watch the World Baseball Classic, by the way?
I won't go out of my way to watch it, but if I'm watching TV and it's on, I'll put it on. I'll put this out. This just came across a few hours ago. The Twins acquired Michael A. Taylor from the Royals. So, I mean, they have a glut of outfielders. Could Max Kepler be on the move? Could he be on the move to the Bronx? I mean,
are you going to be excited about it?
No, yes, I would be. I would absolutely be excited for it. I would throw a bigger parade than if the Giants won the fucking Super Bowl if Max Kepler got traded here. You want to know why?
Because you're assuming it means the end of Aaron Hicks.
I am assuming it means the end of yes. I am assuming that. I cannot
listen. I think that's the logical, most probable answer. But would you be surprised if it didn't?
I am surprised by nothing that this team does.
Right.
As we say, smart or Yankees. So go get your t-shirts at NYYNewsTV.com. Click the shop tab. Your Smarter Yankees t-shirts. Pete unleashed a whole bunch of new merchandise for Carlos Rodon, Harrison Bader, Aaron Judge. There's show specific merch as well. There's merch for the channel. So definitely go there, check it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna as soon as I'm done here, we're going to post it. It'll be the pin tweet, the event April 1st in the Audi Club, Giants, Yankees, what should be Carlos Rodon's debut for the club. We want to see you out there. It'll well be worth it. Just the fact that we're going to get a 5-star menu through the 7th inning. You'll get to hang out with us. You'll get to hang out with everybody from the channel. Also, if you're still here in the chat, smash the like. Subscribe to the channel, please. Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Again, we thank you for your continued support. We're looking to blow this thing up in a good way in 2023 here, and we're just getting started here. Hopefully, there'll be some big things coming for the New York Yankees in the coming weeks here as we head into spring training here. Hopefully, we won't have to rant about Aaron Hicks anymore. Hopefully, that will be a thing of the past sooner than later. Okay. If I find a lucky penny on the side of the road tomorrow, that'll be my wish.
Same here.
So thank you once again for listening and watching episode 316. If I didn't give a oh hell yeah for Stone Cold Steve Austin on episode 316, I wouldn't be doing my job. So thank you very much.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you very much for your continued support. SGR.
Go Yanks.
Chris, say goodbye.
Peace.
Before it hits the front page.